Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am in such a good mood today. I woke up and the sun was just streaming through our windows. It is -17 today in Ottawa, but I honestly don't care because it's so sunny. There is almost nothing that could kill my mood today. And that is exactly how I want you to feel when you wake up in the mornings. Today's video is all about how I became a morning person and how you can too. Listen, I get it. When that alarm goes off and you're all cozy and you're tucked into bed, you're probably never gonna be like, yeah, can't wait to enter the freezing cold world. Like I said, -17 today. But at the same time, for most of us, that early morning, getting out of bed, getting ready for the day is just a reality of life. I don't know about you, but in my experience, I find that how my morning goes typically sets the tone for my whole day. So a few years ago, I just committed to becoming a morning person, and honestly, this has changed my entire life. Let's talk about how I did it. The first thing that I did to become a morning person, and truly, I think this is probably the biggest, you can't accomplish this without it, is to set a consistent sleep schedule. And listen, I know that that's so overstated and it's oversimplified, but it really is so important. Sleep is one of the most crucial factors to your overall health. Every system in your body thrives when you are getting solid rest. If at all possible, try to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time, even on the weekends. Weekdays, I get up at 7:30 every single day, and weekends, I usually sleep until about 7:45 or 8. This helps regulate your body's internal clock, which will make it easier for you to fall asleep at night and easier for you to wake up in the morning. I frequently wake up about 5 minutes before my alarm, which I know can be so frustrating because you're like, I wanted those 5 more minutes. I kind of love it. After a while, it starts to be this thing where it's like, okay, I actually woke up because my body was ready to get up. On that same note, creating an intentional and relaxing bedtime routine is really beneficial to maintaining that consistent sleep schedule. I'm actually gonna film a full night routine probably this week or next week to take you through how I do this. To give you a brief overview, my nightly non-negotiables are my skincare routine, which is super simple. I just basically take off my makeup, wash my face, put on a moisturizer. I've started doing heatless curls in my hair, so I'll usually do that. I'll typically watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy with my husband before bed. Watching TV or being on your phone is not a great idea before you go to sleep, which is why it's also not the last thing I do before bed. So after we turn off a show, I whip out my Kindle, and the light on my Kindle I find does not keep me awake in the way that the light on my phone would or the light on the TV does. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Science community, don't yell at me. I find reading on my Kindle to be the best way to end my evenings. It honestly puts me in such a great mood and gets me sleepy, ready for bed. How much sleep you need every night really does depend on you. I know there's the whole 8 hours a night thing, but that's an average, and the reality is some people can run on 3 hours of sleep and they're fine. Other people need 10 to feel well rested in the morning. So listen to your body. Okay, now let's talk about what you actually need to do in the morning. First things first, this is a trick I learned from the podcast, The Huberman Lab, which, side note, if you are interested in understanding more of how to grow as a person in ways that actually support the way that you're designed, this is the podcast for you. And that is to expose yourself to as much natural light as possible before 10 a.m. When you wake up, turn on all the lights in your house, open every window around you. Obviously, this might be limited based on where you live or what time of year it is. Surrounding yourself with as much light as possible is the best way to show your brain that this is the morning, and also to then prepare it for the evening. This next tip was huge for me in becoming a morning person, and that was to give yourself something to look forward to in the mornings. Getting out of bed is not a fun experience for anyone, but creating a little morning ritual that will bring you some kind of joy is a much more effective source of motivation. For me, that is 100% making my coffee in the morning. I love coffee, big coffee girl. We got an incredible espresso maker as a wedding gift, and making coffee in the morning is a highlight of my day. When the alarm first goes off, the idea of getting out of bed to get to work isn't as thrilling as the idea of getting out of bed to go make myself a coffee. Next, and this is something that I've incorporated very recently, but that is to move my body early in the day. I know everyone has different preferences on this, and that's totally fine, but for me, working out in the mornings has helped me really wake up, get the blood flowing, endorphins pumping through my body, and it also creates a sense of accomplishment early in the day, which definitely helps. Don't sleep until the last second. Being rushed and under pressure in the morning is one of the worst ways to feel ready and prepared for the day. At least that's been my experience. If yours is something different, I would love to know. Leave a comment, tell me about it. But for me, giving myself enough time to actually get ready and do all of the things that I not only needed to do but wanted to do in the morning gave me a much better sense of accomplishment and readied my mind and attitude for the day. Finally, and I think this is probably the biggest adjustment you'll need to make in your mindset, because I know it was for me, and that was don't try to force it. Now, obviously, I do think that you can train yourself to become a morning person, but I don't think that's by pretending to like things that you don't actually like. You may never enjoy the experience of hearing your alarm go off or getting out of bed or getting dressed in the morning. But if you can't remove the parts of your routine that you don't like, add in things that you do. Make your mornings more fun. Becoming a morning person takes time, and that's okay, so don't expect to wake up tomorrow morning feeling completely different about the world. I will be uploading a detailed morning routine video in a few days. I actually was planning on uploading that today, but some of the footage from my original morning routine got deleted, tragically, so I decided to use that footage to create this video instead. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment below and tell me what time you typically get up in the mornings, because I'm honestly very curious. Sometimes I feel like 7:30 is super early and sometimes I feel like it's super late. So I would love to know. I hope you guys have a good day, because today is a good day to have a good day, and that's it. Bye.